I was, to be honest, quite blown away by the scale of it, the extent of the trouble that people have gone to, and so the breadth was something else, but the depth as well. The trouble that the organisers have gone to assemble a bunch of experts from literally across the world. It must have been extremely valuable, I suppose, for Brazil and for the purpose that they've arranged the conference, but for every single participant as well. Hugely informative and enriching and interesting, and I have huge appreciation for what they've done here. I think it's a huge accomplishment. My presentation was on South Africa and the tax system, perhaps a little bit broader than that, our social wage and the way in which we are struggling at the moment to meet our social contract obligations, because our tax base has been so eroded because of economic stagnation, high unemployment. We still struggle with poverty, even though we've been democratized for the past 24 years, still struggle with high inequality. So I think the main thrust of my presentation would be that we can no longer come by or get by without really concentrating on economic growth. We would have to now stop eroding our tax base. We're already highly progressive, I think, as much as we can be. So I think in future there would have to be a bit more of a balance between our social responsibility then also growing the resources out of which we've got to fund our social contract. Without being an expert on Brazil, but gathering from what I've heard over the past few days, I've gathered that the regressivity of the tax system is a huge problem. Now, coming from a country where we are ranked as the most progressive in terms of the tax incidence, and we still have high inequality, I also realized that addressing a regressive tax system is not going to solve all the problems. It has to be part of a package, a whole initiative, and of course also growth. I know Brasilia is in a similar position than us. We're also struggling with stagnation and a lack of economic growth. So one should not neglect the real part of the economy, stimulating growth as well, but then of course addressing the much needed reforms in the tax system at the same time.